essentials like colorful annuals, potting soil, and mulch from brands like Earthgrow, Vigoro, and Scotts. Explore the Home Depot's wide selection of outdoor products. You'll also find plenty of DIY project ideas that make for fun outdoor activities. Visit thehomedepot.com/outdoors for details. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing.
Pave the way to a new walkway. Take the steps to a new stone patio. The Home Depot makes landscaping easier than you ever imagined. Start with handy how-to videos and easy-to-follow project guides. Bulk pricing gives you more for less, and delivery options bring it all home, literally. Better make a path to the Home Depot. Start your landscaping project with a trip to a store near you or visit homedepot.com/landscaping. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
This Father's Day, Lowe's celebrates dads who get things done. Bike tune-ups to engine overhauls, those dads need a tool like Craftsman. And now, Craftsman is at home at Lowe's. Found in garages and toolboxes across the country, Craftsman's the tool weekend warriors and pros alike rely on. If your dad's one of those guys, give him Craftsman this Father's Day for a memory and a tool he'll hold on to for a lifetime. The perfect Father's Day gift of Craftsman starts with Lowe's.
You are a hero. You may not tangle with mad scientists, but a family road trip can be a battle royale.
Lance is hitting me!
Luckily, you have a Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. It has 84 mpge, and you can go 33 miles without gas. Ladders notwithstanding. Get a great deal at the Chrysler Incredible Sales Event.
EPA estimated miles per gallon of gasoline equivalent. EPA estimate with fully charged battery. Actual mileage may vary. Chrysler is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Your Sunday morning dose of reality is now. Open your mind to Santa Fe's non-GMO, purely organic source of common sense. This is Call to Reason with your host, Loveless Johnson III, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk leader.
I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things that I should say. Say them loud, say them clear for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree that every man should be free.
And every woman should be free too, y'all. Happy Father's Day and good morning. Happy Sunday. Right here
Happy Father's Day, Loveless.
Thank you, Beth. Welcome to Call to Reason, everyone. It's 8:08 a.m. on a beautiful, beautiful sunny Sunday morning here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Beth, how's it looking over in the New York City area where you are? And can you turn down the volume on your devices because you're echoing very badly?
How's that?
That sounds great, Beth. Tell us how you are doing. Welcome back, by the way. We missed you while you were gone.
Thank you. I missed y'all. I missed you, and I missed everybody from our team Red Pill. It is bright and sunny in New York. I would, maybe I can show you a little bit of a view for those folks who are tuning in on Facebook. But we've got all kinds of ships and whatnot in the harbor. It's so nice. It's going to be over 80 degrees today, so it's finally became summer
That's
here
awesome.
this week.
That is awesome. Well, we've had a taste of summer here in Santa Fe as well. Right now it's 57 degrees. Beautiful start to our sunny Sunday morning. They're saying it's going to be mostly cloudy today, though, with a high of 75. So great day to be alive here in Santa Fe. Want to say, again, happy Father's Day to everyone who is out there in the world, and hope you have a wonderful day and really get to enjoy a little bit of appreciation for all you do beyond, as Chris Rock would say, the big piece of chicken. So we look forward to hearing and seeing all the happy fathers out there today. And just want to say, enjoy your day, guys. Listen, Beth, there's a lot to talk about. We've got one of our common sense conservatives joining us again this morning. We've got James Gagliano, CNN law enforcement analyst. He's going to be in to talk about the IG report that was just released by the Inspector General of the FBI and has been widely interpreted by different sides and different sets of folks. The only way to really know what's in that document and know what's factual and accurate about the document, in my mind, is for you to read it yourself. Now, it is 538 pages, but folks, let me just tell you something. The spin coming from the left and the right about the document could not be further from what's actually in the document. And unfortunately, the spin coming from the White House is so ridiculous, it's not even related to the document. So
right.
we're going to break that down with James Gagliano when he comes on. And he's, of course, going to bring a new little dose of reality we like to call the Gagliano gag order, which is very, very similar, by the way, to shut the hell up and sit your ass down. So both of those will be coming up as well later on in the show. So we really hope you'll stay tuned for all of that. But in the meantime, Beth, border chaos happening on our southern border right now. We've got thousands now, gone into the thousands of children being snatched away from their parents because of the new policy to criminalize undocumented immigration in this country, to the point of separating families and caging children. And the Trump administration is just flat out, straight up lying from top to bottom, stem to stern, starting with Donald Trump. His press secretary is holding White House briefings telling the lie. Every cabinet member or anybody in his administration that has a word about it in the press repeats the lie. And folks, the big lie is that it's the Democrats' fault that this is happening, that this was somehow a law that they passed and put into play, and that they're simply enforcing the law. And then Jeff Sessions even had the gall to use a Bible, part of a passage in the Bible, just the part that was convenient for him. We're going to talk about that Jesus industrial complex a little bit later on too, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But he quoted from Romans, but he didn't quote it all, which at the end said the ultimate law is love. And I'm going to read that verse for y'all just to clear it up so you can see how the Jesus industrial complex has taken away actual Christianity from the folks who believe in living like Jesus. Because there ain't nothing about what these folks are doing at the border that has anything to do with Jesus would come down and strike them all down right now, just to stop it and stop it in its tracks. Real Christians know that. So how dare the Attorney General? Go ahead, Beth. Sorry.
Throughout our history in the United States, people have used that passage from Romans 13 to justify white supremacy. So this isn't the first time that Romans 13 has been invoked to justify abhorrent, racist, and at this point, I think we can call it fascist or even Nazi-like behavior. I don't think we should just
Right.
I'm very comfortable going there at this point.
Well, the ironic comedy of the Bible is that in the same chapter, Romans 13, if you just go further in the chapter, you see that all that stuff Jeff Sessions quoted in the same chapter, all the things he quoted from earlier in Romans 13, you go further down, you'll find that the definition of the law ultimately is love. And that trumps everything. Folks, let me remind you that Jesus Christ himself only gave one commandment in the Bible, and that was to love your neighbor as you love thyself. Tell me, would you want your children snatched away from you simply because you were trying to save them from terror and danger and get them a better life? Is that really what Jesus was doing? Beth, I don't think it is. I'm so sorry, but I just don't think it is.
No, and the usage of Romans 13, it was used during the civil rights era, essentially trying to tell minorities that they just needed to suck it up, and that was the law. And not only was it the law, but as if they believed in the Bible, that Romans 13 justified essentially justified the actions being taken by the government because it was the law. And I think that we can all agree that the argument was that shouldn't be the law anymore, and the law is unjust. So,
nope. Time for more citizen action, folks. Beth and I are going to take a short break. It's 8:15 right here on Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's news talk leader. It is still beautiful in Santa Fe, partly cloudy, and it is 57 degrees. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Mueller updates. A lot going on with Robert Mueller and his investigation. Looks like he might be getting close to dropping his bombshells. We're going to talk about border family separations a little bit more, but we're really going to talk about Paul Manafort going to jail. Big bombshell happening there. We're also going to touch on Flapjack Cohen. I'm calling Michael Cohen Flapjack now because he's getting ready to flip-flop like a stack of flapjacks. And, of course, everybody, James Gagliano, our Common Sense Conservative, will be up with us shortly to talk about the IG report and give us his dose of reality called the Gagliano Gag Order. And, of course, that'll be followed by the one segment we all wait for the most. Shut the hell up. Beth is back, and she's got 2 weeks' worth of frustration. I cannot wait to hear who it's going to be. And, of course, we're going to take her down the home stretch when I tell somebody who deserves it to sit your ass down. Folks, we have a great show, and we hope you'll stay tuned. You're on Call to Reason, and we'll be right back.
Call to Reason, Santa Fe's Common Sense Checkpoint, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's news talk leader.
The City of Santa Fe is excited to present a patriotic night of entertainment and fireworks. Celebrate the 4th of July with your family and friends with live entertainment from your favorite local bands. Enjoy food trucks and tons of activities before the show. Plenty of free parking, plus lots of exits making leaving the area after the fireworks so much easier. Come together and celebrate Independence Day. For more information and updates, please follow the event on Facebook. 4th of July fireworks brought to you by Presbyterian Healthcare Services, opening fall 2018, and Toyota of Santa Fe.
It's not just a home or a car. It's the 6 months you saved for your Ultra HD flat screen just in time for football season. And the overtime you worked for that third car so your team can drive himself to practice. While other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or combo, State Farm agent Stephen Gillespie sees your home and car as things you work really hard for. Stephen Gillespie understands what your things really mean to you and is here to help you give them the protection they deserve.
All right, Santa Fe, time for a Q&A. Where can you get locally sourced, made-from-scratch food that's priced for locals? Boxcar. Who's got a massive menu with over 30 gluten-free options? Boxcar. Who serves food all throughout the day, every day, and into the late night till 1:30 a.m.? Boxcar. Who's got free parking, nightly live entertainment, and the biggest bar in town? Boxcar. Where's the hottest spot in Santa Fe? Boxcar. 530 South Guadalupe in the rail yard.
It's not just a home or a car. It's the 6 months you saved for your Ultra HD flat screen just in time for football season. And the overtime you worked for that third car so your team can drive himself to practice. While other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or combo, State Farm agent Stephen Gillespie sees your home and car as things you work really hard for. Stephen Gillespie understands what your things really mean to you and is here to help you give them the protection they deserve.
All right, Santa Fe, time for a Q&A. Where can you get locally sourced, made-from-scratch food that's priced for locals? Boxcar. Who's got a massive menu with over 30 gluten-free options? Boxcar. Who serves food all throughout the day, every day, and into the late night till 1:30 a.m.? Boxcar. Who's got free parking, nightly live entertainment, and the biggest bar in town? Boxcar. Where's the hottest spot in Santa Fe? Boxcar. 530 South Guadalupe in the rail yard.
It's not just a home or a car. It's the 6 months you saved for your Ultra HD flat screen just in time for football season. And the overtime you worked for that third car so your team can drive himself to practice. While other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or combo, State Farm agent Stephen Gillespie sees your home and car as things you work really hard for. Stephen Gillespie understands what your things really mean to you and is here to help you give them the protection they deserve.
All right, Santa Fe, time for a Q&A. Where can you get locally sourced, made-from-scratch food that's priced for locals? Boxcar. Who's got a massive menu with over 30 gluten-free options? Boxcar. Who serves food all throughout the day, every day, and into the late night till 1:30 a.m.? Boxcar. Who's got free parking, nightly live entertainment, and the biggest bar in town? Boxcar. Where's the hottest spot in Santa Fe? Boxcar. 530 South Guadalupe in the rail yard.
It's not just a home or a car. It's the 6 months you saved for your Ultra HD flat screen just in time for football season. And the overtime you worked for that third car so your team can drive himself to practice. While other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or combo, State Farm agent Stephen Gillespie sees your home and car as things you work really hard for. Stephen Gillespie understands what your things really mean to you and is here to help you give them the protection they deserve.
Back to Call to Reason, your dose of common sense and reality radio, with your host, Loveless Johnson III, on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk leader.
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, in America too. She's a good girl, is crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and her boyfriend too. And it's a long day, living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through the yard, and I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. And I'm free, free falling.
Welcome back to Call to Reason, everyone. You're here with Loveless and Beth, and we're having a great time here at 8:23 on this beautiful Sunday morning. Happy Father's Day again to everyone out there listening that it's the father, and hope you have a wonderful day. Get the big piece of chicken, the big piece of steak, the ribs, the salmon, or the eggplant in case you're vegan. Just want to make sure we cover everybody because we're very inclusive here at Call to Reason. Beth, jumping right back in, looks like they're starting to be reporting that perhaps Mueller is getting toward the end of his investigation, and he may be issuing the report that will then confront Congress or the Justice Department itself to either force some impeachment proceedings or censure proceedings, or even a criminal proceeding following Mueller releasing his findings. I'm in shock that the propaganda tact and the direction that the administration has used its minions to try and discredit Mueller and the investigation, they're based on such delusion that it's kind of scary. Speaking of delusion, Beth, just wrapping up on the border family separations, Donald Trump has been just lying profusely about what his what the cause of this is his administration that is doing this, and the fact that he says that there's no that there's the Democrats' fault. Let me just play what he said. Let's just let him say it himself before we move on to Mueller, so we can actually just talk about this just for a brief moment. Here is the President of the United States, y'all, talking about whose fault it is when little kids and children are separated from their families at the border. Let's hear what he had to say about it.
Children being taken away from
I hate it. I hate the children being taken away. The Democrats have to change their law. That's their law.
Sir, that's
they
your
were forced.
Quiet.
Quiet. That's the Democrats' law. We can change it tonight. We can change it right now. I will leave here. No. You need their votes. You need their votes. The Democrats, all they have to do.
You control both chambers of Congress.
No, the Democrats. Excuse me. By one vote, we don't need it. You need 60 votes. We have a one vote. Excuse me. We need a one vote. We have a one vote edge. We need 60. So we need 10 votes. We can't get them from the Democrats.
Mr. President,
now wait. You can't do it through an executive order. Can we do one question at a time? Wait, one question at a time. The children can be taken care of quickly, beautifully, and immediately. The Democrats forced that law upon our nation. I hate it. I hate to see separation of parents and children. The Democrats can come to us as they actually are, in all fairness, we are talking to them, and they can change the whole border security. We need a wall. We need border security. We got to get rid of catch and release. You catch a criminal, you take his name, you release him, and he never shows up again. He goes.
So, folks, at the end of the day, this is all about the wall. And it's just a flat-out, bald-faced lie that it's the Democrats' fault that Donald Trump is doing this. The administration, any administration, is responsible for the enactment and enforcement of the law. And Donald Trump and Lindsey Graham was even quoted last night. He admitted that these border separations could be stopped not with a law in Congress, not with the Democrats' support, not with an executive order from the White House. None of that is needed. Lindsey Graham has aptly and honestly pointed out, ladies and gentlemen, that the only thing is needed to stop this madness of separating families at the border is a simple phone call from the White House. We don't need an executive order. We just need a phone call. So for him to stand here and lie this blatantly, purely for political these are people's lives we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And here we have a president who'd rather play politics with people's lives while telling bald-faced, egregious, pants-on-fire lies to the American people.
Well, and on top of that,
hold on. Is that what Jesus would do? Where in the Bible does it say, thou shalt lie thou ass off to everyone involved in order to make a political point? Where does it say that in the Bible?
Yeah, I don't think it says that anywhere in the Bible, Loveless. And nor does it say you should use innocent children to get across your own political agenda and the suffering of children. Essentially, he's trying to capitalize on the suffering of children and to make the Democrats do something that he has control to stop today. And it's disgusting. Fortunately, the media did jump in. They're saying that he's falsely reporting this. You know, you have the better devils, I guess, or angels, however you'd like to put it, of the Republican Party actually coming out and saying that this is all untrue. And so, thankfully, there is an outcry that matches the lie. But I will say too that it has to come to this for people to push Trump away. I mean, even Franklin Graham came out and said that this is wrong.
Any Christians that are trying to get with this are just crazy. But we're going to take another short break. Listen, we are on Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader. You're on Call to Reason. It's 8:30 a.m., and we will take a short break. On the other side, again, we got coming up at the top of the hour, our common sense conservative, James Gagliano, is going to be with us, CNN law enforcement analyst, to talk about the IG report and tell somebody his Gagliano gag order. And then coming up a little later, we got Beth telling somebody to shut the hell up, Loveless telling somebody to sit your ass down, and a whole lot in between. Y'all stay tuned. It's 8:31 a.m. on Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader. You're on Call to Reason, and we'll be right back.
For more Call to Reason, Santa Fe's Common Sense Checkpoint, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
The world is coming to Santa Fe. More than 150 artists from 50 countries gather together July 13th through the 15th for the International Folk Art Market on Museum Hill. Celebrate 15 years of art and impact. Friday, July 13th is the opening night party with shopping and dancing under the stars, and the special early bird market is the morning of Saturday, July 14th. Enjoy world music, international foods, and beautiful artwork from around the world throughout the weekend. Kids love the Passport program. On Sunday, they get their own passport to travel the world and collect stickers from each of the artists. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit folkartmarket.org.
Nidra Matucci Galleries is excited to announce Walt Gonski, a retrospective, an exhibition opening on Saturday, June 23rd with an artist reception from 1 to 3. The show consists of personally selected works from the artist's own collection, spanning 4 decades and 4 seasons. Each painting is a meditation on mood, capturing the color, movement, and light of locations throughout the Southwest and abroad. All the paintings are featured in a recently published book, The Art of Walt Gonski, a retrospective.
When you think of the Tea House on Canyon Road, don't just think tea. Think of the whole breakfast menu. Think of delicious sandwiches and panini, daily soups and creative salads. And don't forget, we're open every day for dinner, featuring entrees like lasagna bolognese, eggplant parmesan, grilled salmon, Italian chicken pot pie, and a slow-cooked dish of the day. There's also a variety of scrumptious tea house desserts, wine, and beer. The Tea House, more than just tea. Open daily 9 to 9.
When my Rottweiler Marty was 10 years old, he was nearly immobile. I was considering putting him down because he wasn't eating and could barely walk. An animal nutritionist friend of mine gave me a recipe that she assured me would help him. I made the food that night, and sure enough, I started to notice remarkable changes in Marty's mobility and demeanor. Marty lived to be 16 years old. Hi, I'm Sandy Bosman, founder of Marty's Meals. That's how I started my business in 2010. Today, Marty's Meals continues to support the life force of your pet. We hand prepare our holistic recipes weekly, sourcing the freshest organic, non-GMO, and pasture-raised ingredients from ranchers and farmers who are committed to growing healthy, sustainable food systems. Come and see the difference we can make with your dog or cat. Our store is located on Penn Road, just off Cordova, or visit our website, martysmeals.com. That's martysmeals.com.
to Call to Reason, your dose of common sense and reality radio, with your host, Loveless Johnson III, on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk leader.
She packed my bags last night, pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much, I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh no, 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 I'm a rocket man, burning out his fuse out there alone.
Welcome back to Call to Reason, everyone. You're here with hosts Loveless and Beth, and we're here to have a great time on this beautiful Father's Day. Want to wish everyone who is a happy Father's Day once again. It is a beautiful sunny Sunday morning here in Santa Fe, where we are currently enjoying a temperature of 58 degrees, mostly cloudy though, on our way to a high of 75. Should be a great, great, great day. Nonetheless, and Beth, while we are here, we want to take a moment to remind everyone how they can reach us on social media. We, of course, are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. On Facebook, we have a group and a page. Call to Reason Reality Talk Radio is the group. Simply Call to Reason is the page. On Instagram, we are Call to Reason. And on Twitter, we are Loveless in Beth. At Loveless, the letter N, Beth on Twitter. If you want to be on the show, you can send me an email, loveless@santafe.com. LOVELESS at santafe.com. If you are a political candidate running for office in the fall, if you are a part of a nonprofit that you think the community needs to be aware of and a part of, give us an email. And if you want to make a comment or be a part of the live show, you can do so. All you got to do is call 505-424-1260. That's our call-in line. If you have a comment, and you can also comment on the threads we have online if you're watching online. Beth, before we jump into foreign policy, let's just quickly point out a couple of things. Robert Mueller is about to send some folks to jail because I'm certain that he's going to refer his report. Well, he has to give the report, as we all know, to Rod Rosenstein. So it's going to start there. Rod Rosenstein, where if he finds that there's significant or credible criminal activity that needs to be prosecuted, he's going to refer to the Justice Department itself and to their criminal division, and then prosecutors are going to begin working on cases to bring indictments and charges to people. Mueller has already indicted over 20. There have been several to plead guilty. There have been several who are cooperating. And speaking of those who are cooperating, not with Mueller, but as a kind of tangential part of this whole criminal enterprise that's being investigated surrounding Donald Trump. Michael Flapjack Cohen, good old Michael Flapjack Cohen, sounds like he's about to start cooperating with the Southern District of New York. And we all know that he has several hours of recorded material from conversations with clients or business associates. This cannot bode well for Donald Trump, not to mention the fact that a person who Donald Trump now says really didn't have anything to do with his campaign, Paul Manafort was just jailed on Friday. The Friday before Father's Day, Paul Manafort was sent back to jail for what the judge found to be credible evidence of just flat-out blatant and egregious witness tampering by Paul Manafort. So, bam, he's in jail till the trial for another 6 or 8 weeks. How about that?
So there's several things to peel off of this here. One, with regard to Michael Cohen, he did part ways with his attorneys, specifically the ones that were working with the judge who was trying to determine what pieces and what the parts of the content of Michael Cohen's office and hotel room and home were protected by and as it turns out, almost none of it was. And if you think about the fact that he has 3 clients, Trump and Sean Hannity, we've watched Sean Hannity nearly lose his mind over the last week, talking about how this was a witch hunt and doing, every propaganda thing possible to set fire on the outcome of this. in North Korea. And he wants us to do that here. It's disgusting.
All I can tell you, Beth, is that we've got a president who has spent more time this week advocating for Russia. He went out and got in big fights and pissed off all of our allies at the G7 meeting, completely disrespected our closest allies while advocating for a brutal dictator, Vladimir Putin, in a country that wants to destroy America, Russia. Then he goes over to North Korea, gives away the farm, and comes back and essentially calls it craftsmanship, gamesmanship, stagecraft. Whatever it is, he's earned by supporting North Korea, giving away everything Russia wanted there, and advocating for Russia at the G7. Donald Trump has been given the Russian Employee of the Month award. So in honor of that, we're playing the Russian national anthem for y'all. Y'all better learn it, because if he has his way, we're all going to need to learn how to speak Russian here sooner than you think. We're going to take another short break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's happening in the world. We'll see y'all on the other side of the break. You're on Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk leader. You're with Loveless and Beth, and we'll be right back.
Call to Reason, Santa Fe's Common Sense Checkpoint, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk leader.
The Heart Hospital of New Mexico Foundation is dedicated to saving lives by empowering individuals to be prepared in the event of sudden cardiac arrest. The Dixon Volunteer Fire Department was able to receive these automatic external defibrillators thanks to Nusenda Credit Union.
Nusenda Credit Union, the power of we. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit nusenda.org for more community reward stories.
Rodeo fans, it's time for the 2018 Rodeo de Santa Fe, the 69th annual celebration here in the capital city. It's nightly pro rodeo action June 20th through June 23rd. Gates open at 5 and pro rodeo action starts at 7. Take in the action from our beautiful covered grandstand featuring pro rodeo's greatest athletes and welcoming Tomas Garcilaso, a national finals performer, charro, rope artist, vaquero, and a horseman performing nightly. Tickets and information at rodeodesantafe.org.
Santa Fe Trails is always looking for ways to make getting around town easy. One more way is through the free shuttle service of Santa Fe Pickup. The Santa Fe Pickup now provides service 7 days a week. It's the fast, free way to get around downtown, Museum Hill, and Canyon Road. For more information, call 231-2573 or go to the website takethetrails.com. Let Santa Fe Pickup pick you up.
Santa Fe Bandstand is right around the corner. You know, those amazing nights of music on the plaza. And at Swan Park that can get everyone from every walk of life dancing. From Grammy Award winners to Santa Fe favorites, the Santa Fe Bandstand brings together community and the best music. Join in the fun all summer long. For schedule information, visit santafebandstand.org today.
This is Matt.
And Hillary.
From Brian McPartland Roofing.
As third-generation leaders in the roofing industry, we strive to continue our family legacy, offering superior customer satisfaction that my father instilled in our company.
We offer high-quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. My Uncle Brian McPartland built our company as an innovator and trusted family-owned business for over 30 years. We are proud to be founding members of National Women in Roofing New Mexico.
And proud to have the first women roofing crew. leading important community projects at Girls Inc. and Masalas Crisis Treatment Center. Whether it's residential or commercial, historic renovation or new construction, architectural details, metal siding, or rooftop gardens.
From Silver City to Taoski Valley.
From Pytown to Tucumcari.
Find us online and like us on Facebook.
Brian McPartland Roofing. We've got you covered.
Hi, this is Gordon Deal. Join me weekdays for This Morning, America's First News. Hear the stories you'll be talking about and searching for all day as we go beyond the headlines and above the chatter with your first look at breaking news, money, Washington politics, technology, entertainment, entrepreneurship, and sports. We explain why stories matter. That's why we are referred to as the most important and relevant radio program. Join us weekdays for This Morning, America's First News.
Impact Personal Safety teaches children and adults how to prevent and defend themselves against verbal, physical, and sexual violence. They offer violence prevention and self-defense classes to the public and schools, businesses, and organizations in Santa Fe, Albuquerque, and other areas in northern New Mexico. For more information, go to impactpersonalsafety.org.
Now back to Call to Reason, your dose of common sense and reality radio, with your host, Loveless Johnson III, on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
Welcome back to Call to Reason, everyone. You're here with hosts Loveless and Beth, and we are very happy to be with you on this beautiful sunny Sunday morning, 8:52 a.m. here in Santa Fe, where we've got a partly cloudy day right now. Looks like it's going to be 75 for a high. It's 59 right now. And we're going to have clouds today, but no real precipitation. High of 81 tomorrow, high of 82 here in Santa Fe on Wednesday. So it's still summertime in Santa Fe, which is not all that bad. Beth, we're going to move right back into what we've been talking about. And trade wars escalating. Our country seems to have been given away partially by the president. Our country seems to have been given away partially by the president because of his this North Korean summit that he keeps calling a big success with a deal that actually has no deal. It's just a big mess. And on top of that, Robert Mueller has been conducting an investigation, and listen, he's not been bumbling it like Inspector Clouseau.
No, he hasn't.
It's been quite the opposite. And so I don't think the Pink Panther is going to fail to get their man this time. What do you think?
I think that the report is likely to be damning. I think that it's, you know, obviously when Rosenstein decides what to do, I feel quite sure that if it is a damning report, I'm quite certain that he will disseminate that report to Congress and make recommendations as to what he thinks they should do. I think that it will be a political and a minefield for the media covering this. I think it'll be in the public eye for weeks and weeks and weeks. However, I do not trust the Republicans to do anything of substance with this evidence. I think now that Trump's numbers have bumped up to 44% this last week, I feel like that that the Congress is going to try and drag Democrats into the rabbit hole of saying that they want just to put Trump in jail and thwart the will of the people who elected him. And I think that's where this is heading. I don't see anyone in Congress, any Republicans in Congress, doing what's right with this information. I think that we're headed for a very difficult election year fall. It does seem like, I know that another congressional seat was also picked up in the last week. And I do still think that there is a blue wave. I think that people are motivated. What frustrates me is how does Trump jump from 32 to 44%? And the thing that bothers me most is that I think that there are a lot of Republicans who support what's going on at the border. That's what bothers me.
Yeah, that's exactly. That bothers everybody. And for the so-called Jesus industrial complex, all the Christians, so-called Christians, to be so silent on this issue that has...
honestly, though, I mean, you have to... Franklin Graham did come out this week. Not the industrial complex, but like the Methodist Church, which Jeff Sessions belongs to, came out and said that they do not support this policy and have called upon Sessions to reverse this policy. And so you do see, and I understand the distinction between the Jesus industrial complex, of which Franklin Graham belongs, and the United Universalist Methodist Church. I'm not trying to lump them all in together. I'm just trying to say that even those that we consider in the Jesus industrial complex are having to draw the line in the sand where it comes to these kids on the border and not make this a political issue anymore. But let's face it, this is the red meat that Trump's base likes. They see this as progress. They don't care about the kids and are happy to see these kids suffer because that's what they want for people they consider the other.
Right. That's exactly right, Beth. And it's everything that the only way the Republicans, specifically Roger Stone, can get this diabolical agenda continuing to move forward and keep the momentum is to politicize things that really aren't political. This whole DACA thing shouldn't be political.
The other thing is, Loveless, is that we shouldn't be setting our hair on fire because Trump is at 44%. It's still nowhere near a majority. But because he has it is the strongest support among Republicans of any Republican president, they deserve to be tarred and feathered for the people in their party supporting these kids being detained on their own at the border.
Well,
kids being pulled off their mothers as they're breastfeeding their children.
Right. And let me just say, too, is before on the way out, because we've got to take our top of the hour commercial break. The news is going to be coming up here in about a minute. Let me just say that the propaganda machine Roger Stone has built is working. Mueller's public image is at an all-time low, even though it's still not upside down. It's lower than it's ever been because of the propaganda, constant attacks. Just an FYI, everybody, in case you didn't know, just a couple of days after the so-called big victorious summit with North Korea that Donald Trump came home bragging about, guess what happened? North Korea began cyber attacks on the United States. We've been under cyber attack by North Korea since the summit. Mm-hmm. How about that for a big American win, everyone? And finally, on the way into commercial break, Donald Trump says and admits that he lied about crafting the statement for his son, and he is proud that he lied about it. We're going to talk a little bit more about that after the break. Y'all stay tuned. 8:59. We'll be back after the news. You're on Call to Reason. on Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's news talk leader. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
I've got a feeling you'll be an asshole the rest of your life.
You're listening to Talk 1260 KTRC AM at 103.7 K279 CX FM Santa Fe and streaming live at SantaFe.com.
Festival shooting. Summer heat arrives. I'm Christopher Cruz. Police say 2 people began shooting at an all-night arts festival in Trenton, New Jersey. At about 2:45 this morning, one of the shooters is dead. 20 people were injured, 6 of them by gunfire. Police say they have arrested the second shooter. Severe thunderstorms and heavy rain are stretching across the northern tier of the central U.S., and a heat advisory is in effect in parts of the Midwest, including Minneapolis, Chicago, and St. Louis. National Weather Service meteorologist Jim Ledick in Davenport, Iowa, says this is going to be a sticky one.
Today they're facing another day of oppressive heat and humidity with temperatures soaring up into the mid-90s and dew points in the low 70s. And that type of humidity is making for heat index ranges from anywhere from 100 degrees up to 100, 105 and plus.
Record-setting highs possible tomorrow in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. President Trump has been very busy on Twitter this morning. He has sent 12 tweets so far, talking about everything from the media to North Korea to the economy. He even retweeted his own tweets from yesterday. Mr. Trump and North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un are to talk by telephone today as South Korea and the U.S. prepare to announce the end of large-scale joint military drills this week. Correspondent Nick Robertson is watching developments from Seoul.
We do know South Korea's deputy foreign minister is going to Washington later this week and is expected to meet with senior officials and would be expected to talk about this issue of the joint military exercises. So perhaps we might begin to learn a time frame on this.
After 9 days at sea, the migrant aid vessel Aquarius has now docked at the Spanish port of Valencia, carrying hundreds of migrants who had been turned away by Italy and Malta. The migrants danced and sang when they landed. 630 migrants were rescued off the coast of Libya more than a week ago. I'm Christopher Cruz.
There's nothing small about your business. Your passion, your hours, your reputation, it's all huge. Your partnerships, even bigger. With Dell Small Business Technology Advisors, you'll get the tech, advice, and one-on-one partnership to help your business grow. Because with reliable Dell PCs with Intel Core processors, you can focus on what matters most, getting business done. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak with an advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
When posting on most job sites, you get candidates.
I'm the sales director you're looking for.
But when you post on Indeed.com, you get the candidates just right for you.
I'm a sales director with an MBA, over 10 years experience, who's also fluent in Japanese.
With Indeed, you can add screener questions for a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates.
Arigato.
Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
In 2014, 24-year-old Eric Abramovitz was awarded a prestigious scholarship to study and play clarinet at the Colburn Conservatory in Los Angeles. Only he never knew it.
Abramovitz's girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lee, posed as her boyfriend and turned down a scholarship offer from his dream school and deleted the emails because they were both studying music together in Montreal and she didn't want him to move away. Lee then sent a fake email posing as a school administrator telling Abramovitz he'd been turned down. The pair broke up 6 months later, but Abramovitz knew nothing about this. He continued studying music and reapplied to the school in 2016, and that's when he discovered he'd been deceived when the school asked why he'd turned down their initial scholarship offer. He sued his ex-girlfriend and was awarded $266,000 in damages last week. I'm John Stolnis.
The Goodman family just got a big bill after their 5-year-old son knocked over a sculpture in Overland Park, Kansas, $132,000. I'm Christopher Cruz.
Brian! I don't know how else to say this, so I'll just say it.
What is it, Linda?
I think we should see other people.
Are you breaking up with me? On a roller coaster?
Well, we do have a lot of fun. Maybe we should stay together.
An emotional roller coaster? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
I just need a little me time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Pave the way to a new walkway.
take the steps to a new stone patio. The Home Depot makes landscaping easier than you ever imagined. Start with handy how-to videos and easy-to-follow project guides. Bulk pricing gives you more for less, and delivery options bring it all home, literally. Better make a path to the Home Depot. Start your landscaping project with a trip to a store near you or visit homedepot.com/landscaping. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Your Sunday morning dose of reality is now. Open your mind to Santa Fe's non-GMO, purely organic source of common sense. This is Call to Reason with your host, Loveless Johnson III, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk leader.
You say you mean good for me, but you don't do it. You say you have a plan, but you just don't go through with it. You say you know the way to go, and I should follow. But all of your empty promises leave me hollow. And oh, how do I trust you? How do I love you when you lie to me repeatedly? And oh, how do I have faith in you when you just don't come through like you said you could? Oh, say can you see? Oh, say can you see?
Welcome back to Call to Reason, everyone. I'm here with Beth and our special guest, common sense conservative and CNN law enforcement analyst and an old high school buddy and a very good man. Happy Father's Day to James Gagliano. Good to have you with us, brother.
Loveless, you had me at hello. That's all I'll say. You had me at hello.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Happy Father's Day. I hope you're having a good time.
Appreciate it, man. Absolutely getting together with all the kids this morning. We have a blended family, so I have 5 kids ranging in age from 28 all the way down to a beautiful 8-year-old daughter. So I got 2 decades between kids, and I'm going to enjoy the day, no doubt about that. But happy to join you guys. I think there's a lot of important stuff that you want to talk about.
All right, and let's just give a thanks to your lovely wife for allowing you to spend a little time with us today, and your kids as well. So listen, let's just jump right into it, brother. The Inspector General of the FBI or the Department of Justice, can't remember which one it is, but they released a report that has caused a huge bombshell here in the country. Huge bombshell, a lot of differing opinions interpreting the document, including the one by the president that has now made it all about the Russia investigation being conducted by Robert Mueller, as opposed to the Clinton emails that this report covered primarily?
Well, brother, a lot to unpack there, and you kind of got to the crux of it, which is what you do. You distill things down. So, for your listeners, let me flesh this out and give them a little bit of history on this. First of all, the Inspector General is an apparatus of the Department of Justice, and it was established in 1976. You and I were little baby 5th and 6th graders at the time under the presidency of Jimmy Carter. It is not a bipartisan apparatus. It is a nonpartisan apparatus. And this particular Inspector General, Michael Horowitz...
Repeat that, folks. I want y'all to listen carefully, people. Say it again, James.
It is not a bipartisan apparatus. It is a nonpartisan apparatus or mechanism of the Department of Justice. This particular Inspector General was appointed by President Obama in 2012, and I can tell you, thankfully, I was never under investigation, but everything I heard about him, watching his work, everything I understood about him by reading his reports, it is a completely nonpartisan animal, actor, and on point. Wickedly smart man, had good investigators, good prosecutors. His job is to basically do an investigation, and if it's an administrative deal, he can make the allegations and charges and say, hey, this is what we found. And if it's something that rises to the level of criminal misconduct, they do something called a criminal referral, which is what happened in the case of Andy McCabe, the deputy director of the FBI, that apparently lied 4 times, 3 times under oath, and he referred him for firing potential criminal referral. So I have complete trust and confidence in his findings. Sometimes you hear things you want to hear. Other times you hear things you don't want to hear. But no doubt about it, brother, Michael Horowitz is a straight shooter.
Than normal. But I have not seen the media address, and I haven't read the whole 500 pages, but wasn't this report also supposed to address any role that Rudy Giuliani played in obtaining information from the FBI into a Hillary Clinton investigation that he perhaps was not supposed to have? Am I getting that correct, or what happened there?
All right, you see, Loveless, this is how it works. Your super sharp co-host is going to distill things down to the granular level. And let me give you this.
Nano molecular.
Exactly, that's so true. So here's the thing on that.
And let me apologize for having you make up for the work that I didn't do myself. So I fully recognize that I just asked you a question out of sheer ignorance. So let me apologize for that up front.
No.
You're
great
doing
question.
My homework for me.
Nope, this is not false platitudes. That's a great question. And here's the thing about that. So the Inspector General report, where I was on vacation in Boca Raton, Florida with my beautiful wife, and unfortunately this thing drops on Thursday, so of course, CNN had requested that I write something about it and show up on. So I actually sat down. I'm one of those nerds, those folks that is really a policy wonk. I sat down online. My wife was not happy inside the hotel room, and I ground through all 568 pages. Now that includes introduction and appendices, but 568 pages of this IG report. And then I read James Comey's op-ed that dropped contemporaneously with the New York Times about 20 minutes after the IG report was released to the public. And then I listened to FBI Director Wray's probably 20, 25-minute press conference that followed. Now, here's getting to the Rudy part. And you guys know my position on Rudy. I was a huge fan back in the time when he was the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District. I thought he was a great law and order Southern District U.S. Attorney. I was a huge fan of his because I worked in New York City during the 90s when he really cleaned it up and was a law and order mayor. But I believe that he's jumped the shark. Now, is there any information or evidence that has been shown to me that members of the New York office of the FBI, I spent 25 years in the FBI, 20 of them in the New York office. I retired in January of 2016. Obviously, the election was in November of that year. I saw nothing to indicate that there were folks that were disgruntled or that were essentially talking to Rudy Giuliani or to anybody else. But I'll say this. The New York office has 1,200 FBI special agents and an additional 1,200 professional support employees and probably about 600 task force officers. So do I know that every single person there did not talk to somebody outside the realm or the spectra of what they were allowed to talk about, meaning talking to the media or talking to political surrogates? I cannot say that. But I did not ever feel that there was a groundswell of people that were like, hey, we're going to go out, we're going to talk to the New York Post, we're going to talk to Rudy Giuliani, we're going to talk to people because we're unhappy with the way this case is going. So, Beth, I do not know that personally. I was on the 28th floor, which is where decisions were made. I was a special assistant to the assistant director, so I talked to all the main players. I knew that there was an investigation ongoing, but I cannot say from personal knowledge that happened, but certainly with some 2,800, 3,000 total employees, I certainly don't know what every employee in that office did.
So, you're saying it's possible that, did you see where there was addressed in the IG report? Because I can, as most researchers I've tried to do so, I can't see where that was even addressed in the report.
Beth, I read every single page of that report, and yes, you're kind of distilling this down. That's something that I think a few folks on Twitter have called attention to and said, hey, this is maybe something bigger than it is, because James Comey spoke to the then Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, and said, we believe there are folks within the New York office that are disgruntled because they believe that there might be a suppression of evidence. So, yes, I'm familiar with that. I don't have any personal knowledge of that. It bums me out anytime anyone that's in a government position, a position of power, leaks to the press. I can't say that it didn't happen. It just wasn't something that I was aware of.
Thank you, Dave.
To bring a little dose of reality that we like to call the Gagliano gag order. I cannot wait to hear who is the subject of this turn of the gag order. Y'all stay tuned. You're right here on Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's news talk leader. You're on Call to Reason with Loveless and Beth, and we will be right back. It's 9:18 a.m. See you on the other side.
Late at night, when it's hard to rest, I hold your picture to my chest, and I feel fine. But it's a rainy night in Georgia. Baby, it's a rainy night in Georgia. I feel it's it's raining all over the world. Kinda lonely now, and it's raining all over the world.
Stay tuned for more Call to Reason, Santa Fe's Common Sense Checkpoint, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
Summer is coming, so you want your car looking great. But don't wash your car at home. It wastes a lot of water, and the soap drains from your driveway into our local streams and rivers. Speedy Shine will wash your car every day for only $29 a month. They recycle their water and capture all the soap used. You're happy, your car's happy, the environment's happy. Speedy Shine Car Wash, 3006 Cerrillos Road, next to Denny's.
Ah, Sunday. All set up with your favorite cup and your Sunday journal. Seventh heaven. Actually, only 1/7 of it. You miss a lot not getting the journal daily. In fact,
Welcome back to Call to Reason, everybody. Happy Father's Day to all who are. And although I'm probably boycotting the NFL this year, unless Donald Trump does what he says, by the way, and brings in NFL players and then gets ready to release thousands of wrongfully convicted black folk, then I probably will watch football. Anyway, I'm still a big Falcons fan, and so is my homeboy, James Gagliano. We have that in common. Falcons till we die, my man.
Look, you know how to butter me up, man. You play Brooke Benton, Rainy Night in Georgia, and then you roll into the Falcon Fight song. You had me at hello. I said that earlier, my man. You know how to bring me to Call to Reason every week, don't you?
I do my best, my friend. But listen, our viewers and guests here on the radio have been emailing, calling. When are we going to get another dose of reality? Call that Gagliano gag order. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say you're going to get it right now. Who we got this week, Jimmy?
Well, this is going to be a little interesting. You know, Lovelace, you know me. I'm never an abstraction. I'm a guy that calls it as I see it, and I never deal in nebulous concepts or abstractions. But this week I'm going to give you an abstraction. You know, you know who I'm calling out? I'm calling out us. Now let that sink in for a second. And here's what I mean. The IG report dropped on Thursday, right? The Department of Justice's IG report. It was widely anticipated. I had already planned to go on a week-long trip to Boca Raton with my beautiful wife, and CNN called in advance and said, hey, we need you to write on this. We need you to be on air on this. And I said, certainly. I understand it's something that is of national import. Everybody cares about what's going to come out in this. But here's the thing. I knew going into this that this report, Loveless and Beth, was a Rorschach test. And a Rorschach test, for those that haven't followed psychology like we do, is a test about psychological perception, meaning I show you something, Loveless sees one thing, Beth sees something else, I see something else, and any viewer you pick out sees something else. So going into this, it was almost like it was baked into the cake that no matter what came out, people in intransigent positions were going to already say, aha, there's my point. It was this. It was the deep state. And people on the other side went, aha, here it is. This is what we've got. The resistance is real. We've got to make sure that this corrupt president is not allowed to continue. So what I'm calling out right now is saying, everybody take a step back. We have the 2018 midterms coming up. I trust that everybody, whether you agree with my views or not, I want you to vote. And then we have the 2020 presidential election. Whether you agree with my vote and who I'm supporting and where I feel my policy, my perception of policy and where we should be as a nation is, I want you to vote. Participate in the process. Do you realize that in 2016, presidential election, right, every 4 years, that's where everybody turns out, not the midterms. Do you realize that we had probably about 120 million people vote in total? And really, that's about 33% of our national population. And that is a crock. That is absolutely disgusting to me that in a democracy where we pride ourselves on one man, one woman, one vote, only about 1 out of 3 people actually participate in that. Back in the 1800s, the 19th century, we were in the 70 and 80 percentile of people participating in the process. It is a damn shame. Whatever your political stripe is, whether you agree with me or Loveless or Beth or whoever you agree with, that you're not participating in the process. Now, having said that, the IG report, I knew that people were going to come down. They automatically had it baked in the cake that this is what they were going to see in this. Let's try to be a little nuanced. Let's try to take a step back from now on, and all of us, let's view everything we hear, whether you hear it on MSNBC or whether you hear it on Fox or whether you hear it on my network, CNN, whatever it is, take it in. Try to take it in and understand it from the perspective that we all have opinions. We're all trying to, make those opinions popular and make those opinions something that other people look at and say, hey, this is a good idea, but do it civilly. I've really learned on Twitter that civility is a dying art. Loveless and I have disagreed on things for 40 years, but we've really tried earnestly to do it without name-calling, without looking at each other and saying, hey, because you think this or because that policy is something that you ascribe to, then that must mean that you're this. So I'm calling people to order right now and saying, let's try to do a better job of that. And I'm not suggesting that I've been perfect at this at all. I wrote a piece for CNN Opinion this week, and I really tried to strike the right tone in it. And I said, here's what I think about the IG report. Here's what I think about Jim Comey and his team. Here's what I think about where we are, what the FBI did, how people that are viewers of this, the prisms that they're looking through, how they take things. But let's all take a step back, be a little bit more fair, balanced, and measured, and recognize we live in the greatest country in the world, and that people that see policy issues differently than we do, that doesn't make them enemies of the state, doesn't make them traitors, doesn't make them any less patriotic than we are. Take a step back, take a deep breath, and please try to understand that we're all Americans. That's it, folks. That's my gag order for the week.
Well, with that,
And
we're going to go. With that, we're going to go into Shut the Hell Up and sit your ass down.
Yes, and listen.
James, thank you. You really do bring. You make us step back and look at things the way we ought to be.
That's right. That is why we call him our, not anybody else's, y'all. He's called a Reasons, common sense conservative. This is why we do what we do, because sometimes we need our check me partner, like James Gagliano, to tell us to step back, breathe, and be human. Because we're all in this boat together, and if we don't float, we all will sink, I promise. James, happy Father's Day again, and thank you so much for being here. We can't wait to have you back. Folks, James Gagliano. Oh, by the way, you can find him, follow him on Twitter, at James Gagliano, and look for him on CNN.com. He's always contributing to the op-ed page there, and he does a great job. His articles are trending a lot. James Gagliano is my main man. Thank you again, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great week, man. Really appreciate it.
Take care, James.
All right, y'all. We're going to take a short break. It's 9:30 a.m. here in Santa Fe. Beth and I are going to be right back, and when we come back, it's going to be time for Beth to tell somebody who really deserves it to shut the hell up. And I'll be right behind her to tell the next fool who deserves it to sit your ass down. You're right here on Call to Reason. It is 9:30 a.m. coming up on 9:31. 61 degrees here in Santa Fe. You're on Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's news talk leader. And me and Beth will be right back.
Other arms reach out to me. Other eyes smile tenderly.
Stay tuned for more Call to Reason, Santa Fe's Common Sense Checkpoint, here on KTRC, Santa Fe's news talk leader.
The City of Santa Fe is excited to present a patriotic night of entertainment and fireworks. Celebrate the 4th of July with your family and friends with live entertainment from your favorite local bands. Enjoy food trucks and tons of activities before the show. Plenty of free parking, plus lots of exits making leaving the area after the fireworks so much easier. Come together and celebrate Independence Day. For more information and updates, please follow the event on Facebook. 4th of July fireworks brought to you by Presbyterian Healthcare Services, opening fall 2018, and Toyota of Santa Fe.
You know what you get when you cross the best artists in New Mexico with the best songwriters in New Mexico? You get an Art Fusion. Art Fusion, the radio show taking a musician and an artist and creating an experience of shared synergy. You can be part of this experience. Recorded live at Artisan, the art supply store on Cerrillos Road. Local musicians get to play, artists get to share their soul. Art Fusion, the art music radio show. Saturday at noon, Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's news talk leader. Take a listen.
Everyone offers service. At Bertinelli Funeral Home, ours just happens to be above and beyond the ordinary. It's what our community has come to expect from us for 50 years. We honor special requests with the attention and reverence rarely seen today. Expectations are not only met, they're anticipated. Whatever it takes to make your experience with us outstanding, consider it our privilege to fulfill. Celebrating Santa Fe's extraordinary lives, that's the Bertinelli difference. BertinelliFuneralHome.com.
Hi, this is Dominic from Critter Control of New Mexico. Summertime is New Mexico's bug season. Spiders, centipedes, and ants. A preventative pest control plan can make your life so much better. Higher food sources in the summer means more breeding and more pests, mice and pack rats. If you start to see drop-ins, call us. We can rodent-proof your home and guarantee it. Visit us at CritterControlSantaFe.com for your free estimate.
Discover the thrill of winning with the Santa Clara Hotel Casino Corvette giveaway on July 6th and 7th. Win your share of over $400,000 in cash and prizes, including 2 2018 Corvettes. Play to win. Earn entries for every 50 points earned now through July 8th. Make sure to visit Santa Clara Hotel Casino every Monday for 5 for 5 beginning at 8 a.m. The first 5 same-day points earned will give you $5 in slot play. Winning Wednesdays have never been hotter. It's easy and simple. The first 15 same-day points earned will give you $30 in saw play. Visit the Players Club for more promotion details and be sure to visit the casino floor to see both 2018 Corvettes for yourself. Ride off in style and your chance to win big. From table games and slot jackpots to fine dining and family fun, discover all we are at Santa Clara Hotel Casino. For more information, visit santaclaran.com.
This hour is brought to you by Hutton Broadcasting, reaching over 50,000 each week. Email sales at santafe.com for more information on how radio can help grow your business.
When you own a small business, every single dollar you spend has to count. So where are you spending your marketing dollars? Hi, this is Jess Preston from Hutton Broadcasting. And as a local Santa fan, we know that word of mouth is huge in our town. And what if I told you could maximize your voice to tell thousands about your business and get a great return on your investment? At Hutton Broadcasting, we offer 6 local and engaging radio stations, plus 2 city-centric websites to target your next customer. 93% of the population still listens to radio every week. That's more than TV and social media. And that's not all. Did you know that advertising your business on the radio can increase your search traffic significantly? Radio is the #1 way to reach baby boomers to millennials and everyone in between. On our multimedia platform, you can reach the people who are right here in Santa Fe and northern New Mexico. Plus, we customize every single campaign to fit the needs of your business. Whether you're brand new or a business that's been here for generations, I want to help you grow your business in our hometown. Email me today at jess@santafe.com. Let's get started.
Now back to Call to Reason, your dose of common sense and reality radio, with your host, Loveless Johnson III, on KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk Leader.
Welcome back to Call to Reason, everyone. It's 9:37 a.m. here on a beautiful, partly cloudy Sunday morning here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where we're enjoying a temperature right now of 61 degrees on our way to a high of 75. Happy Father's Day once again to all who are, and we hope you all have a beautiful day as well. And without any further delay, you're going to know Beth's name by the end of this segment, because now it's time to tell somebody who deserves it to shut the hell up. Who we got this week, Beth?
We have 2 candidates for Shut the Hell Up this week, Loveless. Right off the bat, Speaker Paul Ryan, shut the hell up. He pulled in Ivanka Trump in an early Father's Day message, saying that his life changed the day he became a father and that his kids are his highest priority, and then released this sappy video about fatherhood and Father's Day. And it's just disgusting, and I
much work. And that is, that's Trump's fault. That's his policy. Why not say F Trump? Why not?
on. Me humble. Sit down.
Welcome back to Call the Reason, everybody, with your hosts, Loveless and Beth. 9:51, going on 9:52 in the a.m., and we're going to be taking off here in a couple minutes. But before we do, it's time for somebody who deserves it to sit your ass down. And let me tell you something, folks. We got a good one this week. And it is none other than Donald Trump's big mouthpiece right now, Rudy Giuliani. And he's got some amazingly shocking things to say. Let me just give you a taste before I tear in. Here we go, y'all.
Into this last night, it's not so. He's not cooperating, nor do we care, because the president did nothing wrong. We're very comfortable if he cooperates that there's nothing he can cooperate about with regard to President Trump. I am absolutely certain of that from everything I know about that investigation, including the things that Rosenstein said to President Trump himself, that he's not involved in that investigation. My concern is that the Mueller investigation now is going on interminably, and I think it is reflected in public opinion. Public opinion is disgusted with, how about he's wasted $20 million? Maybe he should put out an interim report. Maybe he should tell us what he's got on collusion. I don't have anything on collusion. Obstruction of justice is really totally negated by the Article 2 of the Constitution. The president can fire anybody he wants for any reason he wants. They can't even inquire about that. I don't know what he's got left. He's harassing Michael Cohen. The Manafort case looks like it's falling apart.
Well, they always cite, well, yes, like 20,
okay.
It's 20,
you take out
guilty pleas.
You take out the Manafort case, which may go out on lack of authorization, and now this ridiculous witness tampering thing. I can't even figure it out. Second, you got the Russians that are all in Russia. They're not coming to the U.S. That's a phony indictment. Nobody's ever going to get prosecuted. And they were harassing Hillary rallies by dressing up like clowns. We had a lot worse than that.
Folks, that's Rudy Giuliani with a very flippant attitude about what's going on with the Mueller investigation. He thinks all this stuff is laughable. And he says that the president is clean as a whistle. Now, we all know the president is not clean as a whistle. And we know it quite well. But Rudy Giuliani claims that he checked into this thing. Michael Cohen is not going to flip, and he's not worried even if he does, because Michael's a tough guy, and he's not going to happen. There's not going to be any flipping going on. And he said he cannot be indicted, and there is no evidence that he was involved in a collusion with Russia. He also claims the president wants to testify. But Rudy Giuliani claims that the president has always been clean as a whistle when doing business, even before he took office. Now, I asked Rudy Giuliani, if that were true, how is it there have been thousands of lawsuits by private citizens and the government filed against Trump himself and the Trump organization in all its various ever-shifting forms? The Trump Foundation was recently fined again and ordered to shut down, and Donald Trump has been banned from being on nonprofit board. Trump University settled a lawsuit. The casino fell apart. There are still pending law. If he were clean as a whistle, why is there all this legal activity calling him out for egregious behavior? Rudy Giuliani, you are simply nothing more than a propagandist working overtime, and I'm sure getting paid quite well to go around on television with your snarky little grin, and you're going to, continue to just lie. That's the bottom line. All of you simply lie. So to Rudy Giuliani, who claims that President Trump is clean as a whistle and always has been, and to suggest that they have nothing to fear from Michael Cohen talking to investigators in the Southern District of New York or to Robert Mueller's team, Rudy, sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. because you know damn well that's a lie. That's beyond a lie. It's ridiculous, laughable foolishness is what it is. And with all due respect, Mr. Giuliani, America's former mayor, you need to sit your ass down, bottom line. Beth, do you have any winners this week?
I certainly do. And actually, I just want to add that Rudy Giuliani is not due any respect at this moment. Secondly,
I'll agree with that.
my winner this week is U.S. Representative Beto O'Rourke, who today led or is leading a march on Father's Day to the tent camp that is housing immigrant children in Tornillo, Texas. And I wanted to make him my winner today. He also happens to be running against Ted Cruz in Texas, and I think that it would be great if you agree with his actions for people to maybe tune into his website and show him some support.
Right on. My winner this week is a local winner here in New Mexico, Stephanie Garcia Richard, Beth.
Yeah,
the woman who came in running for land commissioner has won the Democratic nomination. And I anticipate she'll be the first woman land commissioner in New Mexico history. So giving a big shout out to Stephanie Garcia Richard. I don't do partisan politics for political parties, but this is a candidate we can all get behind. And I sure hope she takes it all the way. We love you, Stephanie. You're my winner this week. And Beth, you are my winner too.
You're mine.
I love
you. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Pop. Happy Father's Day, uncles. Happy Father's Day, everybody. We love y'all, and we'll see you next week. Y'all stay tuned. This week, we've got a special reveal of the new Santa Fe podcast set for a Call to Reason CTR on the side. Can't wait to show it to y'all. Y'all tune in. Thank you for being here with us. We'll see you next week. I love you, Beth.
Love you too, love us.
Peace, y'all. Meet the Press is coming up, y'all. Y'all stay tuned to Talk 1260 and 103.7 KTRC, Santa Fe's News Talk leader. Meet the Press is coming. We're Call to Reason. We'll see y'all next week.
Never mind your fears. Brighter days will soon be here. Take it from me, someday we'll all be free. Yeah.
K279CX FM Santa Fe and streaming live at SantaFe.com.
This Sunday, Truth and Consequences. President Trump makes many false claims about the Justice Department Inspector General's report.
The report yesterday, maybe more importantly than anything, it totally exonerates me.
No, it doesn't. About the FBI.
You look at what happened. They were plotting against my election.
No, they weren't. And about separating immigrant children from their parents at the border.
That's a Democrat bill. That's Democrats wanting to do that.
No, it isn't. How can we believe a president who routinely says things that are provably false? My guest this morning, counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, and the leading Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff. Plus, what is happening to those children separated from their parents?
This place is called a shelter, but effectively these kids are incarcerated.
Whoever wins this immigration battle, children are the losers. We'll have the latest. And the new endangered species, Republicans who criticize the president.
I wasn't Trump enough in the age of Trump.
My conversation with Trump critic Congressman Mark Sanford just lost his Republican primary race. Joining me for insight and analysis are NBC News national political reporter Carol Lee, New York Times Pentagon correspondent Helene Cooper, Republican strategist Al Cardenas, and New York Times columnist Bret Stephens. Welcome to Sunday. It's Meet the Press.
From NBC News in Washington, the longest running show in television history. This is Meet the Press with Chuck Todd.
Good Sunday morning and happy Father's Day. What kind of week has it been for President Trump? That may depend on your place in the media political industrial complex. To President Trump's critics, the North Korea summit was a self-serving spectacle that achieved little and elevated a ruthless dictator. To the president, the summit was a historic achievement, moving the world away from nuclear war. To the president's critics, the G7 summit was an unnecessary insult to our closest allies, increasing the risk of a costly trade war. To the president, the summit was a triumph of American strength, Mr. Trump making it clear the U.S. will no longer play the role of sucker to greedy allies. To his critics, the Justice Department Inspector General's report vindicated Hillary Clinton's claim that her campaign was the victim of James Comey's decisions. To President Trump, the report fully exonerated him from charges of obstruction of justice and collusion. Finally, to the president's critics, the jailing of his former campaign manager, Paul Manafort, was just more evidence of the campaign's possible conspiracy and collusion with Russia. To President Trump, it was a tough sentence. What about Comey and crooked Hillary? Very unfair, he tweets. While some of the president's assertions this week are debatable, others are flat out false. First of all, the IG report did not exonerate him. It had nothing to say about his actions. Its focus was on the Hillary Clinton email investigation, not the Mueller probe. And no, despite Mr. Trump's repeated claims, it is not a Democratic bill that is separating families at the border. It's Trump administration policy enacted by his attorney general. Still, the president spent the week feeling and acting emboldened, highlighting facts where they were helpful and making them up where they weren't.
Paul Manafort worked for me for a very short period of time.
In 51 minutes on the White House North Lawn, President Trump served up a series of falsehoods shortly before his former campaign chairman was sent to jail. A federal judge ordered Paul Manafort behind bars on Friday over charges he tampered with witnesses while out on bail, ahead of his trial on federal conspiracy and money laundering charges set for later this summer.
He worked for me, what, for 49 days or something? A very short period of time.
That's not true. In fact, Manafort worked for Mr. Trump's presidential campaign for 144 days, including during the crucial Republican convention. The president also defended former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
Some people say he lied, and some people say he didn't lie. I mean, really, it turned out maybe he didn't lie.
In fact, Flynn has already pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI, and Trump himself tweeted back in December, "I had to fire General Flynn because he lied to the vice president and the FBI." And on a misleading statement he dictated last year about a Trump Tower meeting with Russians during the 2016 campaign, which his lawyer at first denied on Meet the Press, then his legal team admitted to.
Let's not talk about it. You know what that is?
But can you
it's
tell
irrelevant.
us?
It's a statement to the New York Times. That's not a statement to a high tribunal of judges.
That's the president admitting he misled the New York Times. Emboldened after his meeting this week with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, Mr. Trump returned to the United States eager to go on offense against his political opponents and hinted there will be rewards down the road for his allies if they stay loyal. The president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, told the New York Daily News on Friday that the Mueller investigation might get cleaned up with some presidential pardons before pulling back.
He is not going to pardon anybody in this investigation, but he is not obviously going to give up his right to pardon if a miscarriage of justice is presented to him.
Meanwhile, Mr. Trump is facing little pushback from his own party.
It's becoming a cultish thing, isn't it?
In fact, Republican leaders signaled this week that they may be done defending Mueller if the president acts against him.
What I think about the Mueller investigation is they ought to wrap it up. It's